Hi everybody, and welcome to a new video series where I'm restoring a KTM Super Duke 1290R. This is in used condition. Let's go have a little look around it. Let's just get right into it, shall we? Brake pads are cooked. They're down to less than 1 mil. And the overall condition is dirty. Good tyres on it though. It does have a radiator leak. It's very common on these bikes and also very expensive, being the radiator is about £500. Great, without any of the little fixings or anything. It's like, oh no. Seems to have a lot of R&G crash protection on it. Relatively recent, is that a good saying? Oil cooler and oil water pump. When I say relatively recent, I mean within the last 5 years anyway. R&G crash protection, I'm really scared to find out what's underneath here. Once I pull this off, I'm actually quite frightened to see whether the bike's been down or not. Oh dear. So a little bit of, I can go around it some more. A little bit of history on it. It was owned by a teacher who went from Brighton to somewhere else every day. He's gone and put some good motorway miles on this. And then it's got to a point where it needs so much work, which I'm not showing you everything because it's more exciting that way. It needs so much work that he's bailed on this motorcycle and got himself a Triumph instead. So he can just commute on the, I think it's the A23. He'll just commute on the A23 every day for forever and ever and ever on a Triumph, I'm sure. So, yeah, she got a bit of corrosion. It's not in a great condition, is it? The tyres, fantastic. But yeah, it's going to need some love. These bikes are riddled with issues. So Alex, what are you doing? From radiator faults to rear bearings, what a non-fun job that is. If the bearings need doing, because the water ingress or it keeps water in the bearings. We're going to look into that. You can see what sort of a commuter it's been. It's had some kind of Chinese LED indicator. I don't, if they're real, then they're real, but they kind of look Chinese. I've never owned a KTM before, so I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. Yeah. WP suspension. We're going to take a look at that and make sure it's okay. Look at it, it's minging. Have noticed oil leak here. So, oops. And although the oil level looks good, it's actually halfway. So, is it burning oil? We don't know yet. I'm really worried to see what's underneath these casings, because generally a bike like this you'd think would go down this side. You can see here the amount of wear that the clutch lever has had. Look at that, literally all the anodization is polished off, come off, polished off. It's just beautiful and smooth. There's some ASV levers on there, I think, but that's cosmetic. A few dinks on here. Again, that's just all cosmetic, isn't it? I am aware that this screen is in a state of failure. This one's got some pretty deep grooves in it. So we might have to take the dash off and see what we can do there. Looks like original handlebars. But as with any commuter bike, you get that patina. I don't know if all the buttons work or anything. Nicely polished off. I did have the ignition key for it when I bought the bike, and now I don't have the ignition key for it when I've unloaded the bike. So if anyone's found an ignition key on the A303 that's got KTM on it, do let me know. That could be a problem. So yeah, oil leak. The engine's only half full of oil. Looks like, is that Evotech? Can you read that better than I can? Looks like the slave's been replaced at some point. Still got all its emissions stuff on it. No quick shifter. I don't think this model can have a quick shifter. You'll quote me different. Chain is corroded but oiled. And then look at that hub. Oh, crusty. A lot of cleaning up to do. Yeah, no ignition key, man, so I can't even get the rear seat off. What? Not my biggest concern, but this rear hub here is going to be fun when I take this apart and replace the bearings. I'm going to actually buy myself a press, I think, because the water gets in through the seals, and then we're going to have to have a look underneath. I'll just put my fingers under there. But if nobody's modified it and given it weep holes for the water to expel, the bearings last a shorter amount of time, something like that. Looks like it's got incandescent bulb indicator this side and fogged up LED this side, so you can tell it's been just commuted on and used. Is this going to be the project that breaks me? Because although everything looks good, although everything looks fine, it isn't. There's more to it. And as we dig through this, Alex is going to either cry or be very happy to have brought a KTM Super Duke R back onto the roads. This is a Gen 1 bike, so it's the one with all of the problems. And hoping along the way we're going to fix some of those problems to a good standard. So this is what I mean about the emission system still being on the bike, and nothing's been capped off, so it's just been left alone, and he's obviously protected it with the R&G stuff. But I'm a bit worried about what's behind there. Engine casings, well, you can't save them. It's been used in all weathers. Full service history from a dealer in Surrey. So it was bought from them, from new, and then full service history all the way through its life. We can't confirm the mileage right now because this screen's dead. And I don't mean dead, it illuminates backlight, but the rest of it's unreadable. So the question is, how many miles does it really have? I'm gonna guess 60,000, something like that. It might be less. It might be quite pleasant. Might be like 10,000 miles, but absolutely ragged. It won't be 10,000 miles, you all know that. So I can tidy up plastics and stuff like that. I really want to do the seals on WP suspension, but really there's bigger fish to fry in bringing something like this back to life, especially with aftermarket radiators being absolute crap and new radiators being actually quite difficult to get hold of and really, really expensive. And I don't even know if the bike's been overheated. I don't know anything. I just took it as is. And it's the next YouTube project. So that's just a quick look around. You're going to want to know how much I paid for it. It's probably already in the title, but I paid £3,000 for this KTM Super Duke R. And the year is 2023. Late September, early October. So you get your idea of pricing from that. Question. How many of you have wanted to own a Super Duke 1290R? I know I have, and this is what I've ended up with. I've always wanted one. I mean, I've never gotten on with this. I don't understand what KTM were trying to do, but it's their design style. It's entirely up to them. I can't knock it till I ride it. The manufacturer named this motorcycle the Beast, and I'm about to find out why, if I can get it running. I don't know how long this project's going to take. But I'm just kind of hoping that it all sort of comes together without too many tears. I guess some of the stuff I'm really looking at in the future. I mean, look at the corrosion here. It's bad, man. I wanted to do these alloys bronze, so powder coat, clean them up and have them powder coated bronze. Front wheel bearings are shot, or is it the head yoke? There's bearing issues, and there's more than what I'm telling you. So because I can't remember it all, it's actually quite a long list of faults that the bike has. Oh yeah, I always pick the good ones, but that's the whole point of this series, is to show you how to fix something like this. I mean, I've never owned a KTM. I've never actually worked on a KTM before, so I'm going to learn at the same time. I love its tail tidy, but it's so crusty. It's disgusting. So it's going to need a new tail tidy, or I mean, look at all the powder coat coming off of it. And look at how the RNG is cable tied on the RNG LED. What have I let myself in for? This is the, oh, I'll just cable tie it together and then I'll be able to get me to work bike. Thank you for watching. Let's see how this comes about, and oh god, I'm nervous.